Change my mind. AI is good. Change my
Alright,
mind.
here's the reason. Here's the reason that should maybe reach out to you. Humans are driven by making decisions and by solving problems and fixing the world to their liking. They're driven by that. They're driven by creativity and trying to impress, the opposite sex with their creativity, maybe, when you have computers that have taken the role of being creative or taken the role of problem solving or taken the role of decision making, now you're talking about like where does where's the human drive come from? Like that's what drove humans. You're taking humans' drive away, and I think it is literally that serious. You are literally going to be taking the drive of human beings away from them, and then testosterone already fucking plummeting is gonna there will be no testosterone left.
Is it even possible for AI to take away that from humans?
Yeah.
I think humans are always going to be like artistic and creative and play guitar and draw pictures. Humans will always be like that.
But there's going to be a lot less incentive to do so if nobody's going to be impressed by it anymore, first of all. Second of all, nobody's going to be paying money for it anymore because they don't need to. They can get like 10 times better from the computers. Third of all, you're not going to be motivated to do it because you're personally not impressed by your own work anymore. There will be no drive.
Okay, so do you think we'll start to try to emulate the computer? It's like, oh, that computer's
I'm wondering if they've already
musical piece is so good. I'm going to try to make something similar.
I'm wondering if they've already
Wait, guess what? Yeah, wouldn't that make me a better human? Like, since I'm like trying to do something creative that's way beyond my level because I learned that AI is doing something more complex than I'm capable of.
The thing is you don't know how the AI works. First of all, you don't know how the AI works. Nobody does. It's it's literally just like a neural network. You know how a neural net works, right? You seem like you know how a neural net works.
It's branching subjects, you know.
It's like
subject will go to another.
It's like the brain. Like there's like it's the different passageways are reinforced the more that they're traveled along.
Sure.
So like the more times that there's this type of pixelation pattern, then the more likely that it's a hot dog, or or more likely that it's a penis or whatever.
Pattern recognition.
Right. It takes a lot of input. You have a lot of input. So AI. All right, hold on. Let me take a step back. Use the first argument because the first argument's I think the most important one, and that
how AI can take away that creativity,
the drive, humans. Like the literal the human essence, like literally like human essence.
Are you sure that can be taken out, like?
Because there will be no motivation.
You seem so sure of that.
There will be no motivation to. There will be no monetary motivation to. There will be no sexual motivation to. There will be no personal motivation.
Are you sure those things aren't biologically ingrained in us that cannot be removed? Because I'm pretty sure it is. You can't take those things away from people.
It's not that they're taken away. It's just that they're diluted. They're diluted.
Okay, I understand that, but would you think you'd be wise enough to understand that and, always have your personal biology and personal creativity and drives? Like, your freedom to drive.
Well, I mean, it's also going to atrophy though too. Think about it. Like, I mean, like people. I think when people wear glasses, like their eyes get weaker.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Now we're talking about not just your eyeball muscles and nerve endings in your eyeballs.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Now we're talking about the nerve endings in the brain that think creatively, solve problems, and do these things that are human drive related.
Okay, I think what you're saying is AI will hinder human evolution. Is that what you're saying? Because I can understand that. I can agree with that.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, another way of wording it. Yeah. Because drive and evolution and survival Those are all kind of like those are very
Improving.
related
You're
things.
improving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So then
Because
my argument
again,
would be
I see what you're saying with where you got that with the glasses. Because now our eyeballs don't have to evolve because the glasses evolve for us, right?
exactly. So here's my thing, and this is something I thought about AI as well. It's like you task AI to find the best way to evolve humans. That was something I was thinking
But
about
hold on,
years
hold
ago.
on.
Actually, I've been thinking about this for years. It's like you tell the AI, okay, what are the things that it'll take to make a human evolve at the most efficient way? It's like what kind of environment, what kind of variables, you know?
Yeah, but here's the thing, like the AI would have to know everything, which isn't possible.
It's not too far
No,
along.
it's not gonna. Well, first of
It,
all, there's actually limited information in the universe. I mean, think about it like the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. We don't know the speed and the location of a particle. Therefore, we will never be able to determine with a strong degree of certainty whether there's going to be a wave that someone's going to break their ankle on when they're surfing, or some kid's going to fucking surf across and slice their fucking leg with their surfboard. It was bigger yesterday and cooler looking, but as fucking like 9-year-old kid.
but so you're saying it's impossible for AI
Yeah, it'll never know everything.
to figure
And
out
think about
human
it.
evolution? I think
Think
it's
about that.
not.
Think about that. Like my leg, got hit by like a 9-year-old kid on a surfboard. So, how in the fuck could an AI predict that? Because how is it gonna know when the
Okay.
wave is gonna crash? Think about it. And
How
that's just
about
one
if it
little
looks
thing.
at
What about a hurricane?
okay,
What about a volcano? What about
right?
a
So how about if it looks at statistics mostly? Like
right?
it's
But
looking at
it's only gonna
okay,
have
so
so then
the
here's
top 10% of humans that are successful had these factors in their life. You know, they had a good parents. They went to a school that had a teacher that was a specific teaching style in the third grade, and the kid mentioned that as being influential in their life. So now, you know, like something specific like that we can look into, but on a mass scale. And it continues on like that.
yeah.
And then you have a list of like, and this is just one
I do
example of
agree. I
the
do agree.
capacity of AI.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. There could be some applications there, and there could even be some even in healthcare. Healthcare, I think there could be. I think there could be
Oh
strong,
yeah, that's
very strong applications in healthcare, particularly uh,
pharmacology.
yeah, diagnosing based on your genetics. Um, like best maybe best diets. Like your doctor can be like, okay, based on your DNA, you should eat. You can eat as much red meat as you want. Or based on your diet, stay the fuck away from red meat and potatoes or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Uh, Actually, one of the biggest advances in AI, from what I've read, is in pharmacology. So what they do, which is incredible, it baffles my mind how this works. Is like, so they put the input in the computer the compound, and the computer will know all the things that compound will interact with in the body. You know, they're already like working on that, and that's like something that's being done. So you don't even have to test on animals. Like in a way, it's like you could just put the compound into the computer. It'll understand all the points of the molecule that interact in the body.
But see,
And
even with like
God, so if it's capable of that, and that's just one aspect. Imagine the multitude of other things, and if you combine all those things, like
the thing is,
like
but
have you ever seen the movie Ghost in the Shell?
hold on, before we go down. No, I haven't. But like, look at the number of problems that we have in our society right now. Like, we have the technology to solve these problems. Like, we have like so many homes that have no residents. We have so many houses that are unfilled, and we have so many homeless people. We have so many jobs that we need to be filled, and we have so many jobless people. We have so many men and women who are single, and like pissed off and like fucking marching for this or for that. We have so many things are fucked up, And all the biggest issue, I'll reiterate, I think the biggest issue underlying everything, all the economic problems that we're having that's creating scapegoats on the left and the right, is deception. And like I deal with deception on a very
Okay.
daily basis, and deception
So
and AI doesn't provide very much help to combat deception, because AI is
are you sure?
yeah, because combating deception is to understand something. AI does the understanding. Make sense? Like it builds those neural nets, and then it does the understanding, and then it will tell you whether it's a penis or a frog in the picture. But it's not gonna tell you how it figured out whether it's a penis or a frog. So that pattern recognition is unknown to you. So if it tells you that this person needs to eat steak, it's not gonna tell you why that person needs to eat steak. It tells you that that person needs to do that or this is how I made it. Like, it's not going to tell you how this painting was made or how this song was written or how.
What? Why wouldn't it?
Because it's just reinforced. It's just arbitrarily reinforced, like ones and
But you
zeros.
could map that. You could map that. That's not something that's lost into the computer.
It's just based.
Like hiding, information hiding, encoding. Yeah, I understand that. Or encapsulation.
But code written by a human is very different than code that was written by evidence, like observation. You know what I mean?
So,
By
okay.
feedback.
All right. So let me. It's a good response to that, what you said about like how society, has all these problems because of deception and such. So what if? Okay, so Ghost in the Shell, the film, the old film from 1991 or 1995, one, two. Guessing you haven't seen it.
I've heard.
Anyways,
it's good.
Before the anime series came out, which was the popular thing that most people know that show from, it's a TV series. The original was a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Movie was about how the mind was uploaded into computers. People can upload their brains into machines. So it kind of, it was just like Ghost in Shell. Are you actually alive? It's like, even though you're just a brain inside of a computer system. Anyways, but one of the things I found interesting is like they were fighting battles using these massive AI systems that predicted the future, and from what I remember, so the entire government was like working their war based on what the machines were saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what should we do next?
Yeah.
Right. So it would have so much information. It would predict out essentially like different timelines in the world. And whenever something changes, like the unknown chaotic, the timeline would change. And so what I thought is like, well, why can't we just use the AI to, solve the problems the humans have, the complex problems? Because in the end, it's going to have the most information to process and get the right answer. It's like, if you get 100 people in a room all working logic to solve a problem, it'll still be surpassed by the machine, all the brilliant minds and such. And it can be done fast. And like to not use that capability, it's essentially like cutting humanity's evolution off. I think AI is part of human evolution.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it is an inevitability of life, and human evolution is solely dependent on AI. It's just that powerful.
I guess another reason, like one of my other secondary reasons why I'm not a huge fan of it, is because we haven't fully utilized the power of the computers that we have, like here. Like, we haven't made programming accessible to all people. I think that to me it would be if even if you were a huge proponent of AI, I think similarly to that, actually maybe the best way to achieve AI, because what is AI? AI is uh, feedback-based computation. Yes.
Sure.
Well, human beings are feedback loop systems. They have more senses than a computer will have. They will sense reality and use their own brain to like pre-process things before they start programming the computers, which is what they should be doing. We should be living in a society where everyone programs. Like, and I'm not saying that to be like like a fucking huge nerd or a dork, but like I mean we're like in this new we're in the information revolution right now, and the information revolution is being suffocated by deception. It is being completely suffocated by deception, and it's to the point where like people can't even fucking program these fucking browsers, man. These browsers are so dynamic and so unpredictable and so chaotic. They're very chaotic. I mean, seemingly chaotic. Obviously, it's still ones and zeros, so they're still predictable.
Right.
But in the way that the coding language is abstracted to an unpredictable manner. Like literally, a var could be anything. Like it could, like to you, it could be infinite number of
Okay.
possibilities. Of course, in the computer world, there's only a certain number of possibilities that it will actually.
So
You don't know what those possibilities are. So to you, it is infinite. You know?
okay. So you're saying like
We haven't fully
you're saying we're not
capitalized.
using the computers, capitalizing.
We have not
processes.
capitalized on normal computing.
And here's my argument to that. Like, to me, and my prediction of the future is like the AI is going to surpass that.
But the thing is, the AI is more chaotic. The AI is more chaotic, right? Because it takes in input from the universe, from the outside world, right? Because it takes in input from the outside world to program itself. Then its programming is inherently chaotic. Versus
Well, you have the
orderly.
algorithms.
And there is this goes back to
So the orders in the algorithms,
yes,
I guess.
yeah. When you loop through something and then you very predictably identify something as a pattern, and then you get the output, and maybe it wasn't the output that you want, so you change that pattern for it to recognize again, and you get a different result, and then like, oh, so every time I do that at the same time, same way, it's always going to give me this result, always going to give me this result, that predictability is very, very, very valuable. When you have AI, I don't think you'll have like that same kind of predictability. You're not going to have that same, and like, I'm not saying that there's not a place and a time for AI, but like I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because, and I don't mean that like, oh well, we could still, I think like I think that we're detrimentally getting ahead of ourselves. Like to skip this step would be could lead to devastation. I think it could be.
So skipping the step of capitalizing on our current hardware.
Yes, and the current kind of programming paradigms, like very orderly programming paradigms.
Sure.
Where it would be accessible to everyone. Then everyone.
No,
Sorry.
I think like it's coming so quickly. I agree. It's like coming much faster than expected. I think it's going to get to a point that like most of our systems, like portable systems and stuff, will be programmed by AI. It's like humans will not be a part of it. They're just going to QA it, like essentially, and then tell the computer to fix certain things. I think we're getting to that point where humans don't need to program as much, but more. I mean, of course, there's certain situations that it's needed, but it's going to be more about corrections. Like humans will be like, no, it needs to do this, and the AI will fix it. Oh no, change this to this, and the AI will fix it in the program. It's like the need for the programming.
How is that better from just like you? If you can define what it should do, shouldn't you be able to easily put the thing together yourself? You should be able
but
to.
It's something highly complicated. That's the whole point of AI. It's like something that would take 100 humans 1,000 years to program or something ridiculous. and the AI would be able to do it within a couple days or something like that. It's like, I need you to build a program that does something really, really, really complicating, and it needs to be programmed in a complicated way. But I'm just going to tell the computer with a simple command, and it's like rearrange every human by. My point is like hardcore processing.
I mean,
It's going to be done, kind of thing. Like,
I mean, for
it's hard to explain, but do you kind of understand what I'm saying? Like, the program is so big that humans can't program it. It's so complicated.
but why would there? Why would what problem would that be? Like, I mean, like if it's based in the actual world, like if it's based on evidence, if it's like an evidence-based kind of algorithm, then yeah, AI would be like again, like, you know, trying to figure out like what foods like people should eat based on their genetic sequence or something like that. Like I don't know. But
Or how about matchmaking? Like, this AI knows every single human's, personality,
yeah,
and it's going to pick the perfect woman to be compatible with
Loads.
you. Oh, it's here. Boop. It took a day of processing or something.
right.
And it's like some Thai ladyboy in South Philippines.
Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, that definitely. Well, then it's almost like an
Or
arranged
how about
marriage,
this?
but it's arranged by a fucking.
Right. I mean, you don't have to do it, and that's, you have your human
Why would
freedom.
we
But
want
here's
that? Though?
another.
Why would we want that? Like, what?
Because it's, look,
But see,
imagine,
the thing
look
is,
at
but
me,
the thing
look
is,
at you.
but
How long have you been looking for the,
instead of
like,
instead of
why wouldn't you say that?
instead of look, this is why. All right, in a nutshell, like I think maybe I haven't been saying it right now. Now I kind of realize what I've been thinking. AI is going away from understanding. Programming yourself is going towards understanding. Those are separate directions. And if we keep going like in a direction away from our understanding and relying on the computers to understand the algorithms and the pattern, specifically the pattern recognition, like the ability to recognize patterns and identify abstract patterns, like that ability was going to be like, because the computers are taking over that, our ability to pattern recognize is going to atrophy. It's not just going to be an atrophy. It's going to it's not along a road where we gain more understanding. I think society I think people are better at making decisions when they have understanding, and I want to live in a world where people have freedom, right? And if you have AI, you might be taking freedom away. Like I know that's no, you could be taking freedom away. Absolutely. If the AI says like this is your wife, then go with her. Like, you don't have the freedom to choose. Maybe not at
Okay,
first.
sure. All right. Okay, but like I said, you still have the freedom.
Right.
Hopefully, it doesn't become authoritarian, and you have to do what the AI
says. The thing is, it's going on a road.
But
it's going on a
here's my
road away
argument.
from understanding. Understanding is this way. Understanding is being able to build and synthesize ourselves.
But okay, so
we're not synthesizing anymore with AI.
What about the computers we have now? We could say the same thing about the computers we have now. Like, imagine all the things I wouldn't have ever understood if it wasn't for the computer in front of me processing like this information from me. Like, I would have never learned any of this, and its ability to give me more information what caused me to have better understanding. And what I'm saying is AI is going to do the same thing, but on a higher level. It's going to give me
do what?
more
Make a video?
Give
We already
me
have video.
information so I can understand.
I think AI. I think YouTube is using AI, and I think it's turning out to an abysmal failure. I think the people at the top are trying to bring in AI. I think they're like summoning fucking Satan himself with this shit. It's going away from understanding. It is. It's going away from understanding. Again, when a human is writing the program, they're writing the loops and the pattern recognition, the abstract pattern recognition, the synthesis, the synthesizing of, oh, I need this component, I'm going to add it to this component, I'm going to put this component on top of that component, and I'm going to build these things. These things are going to be able to communicate with those things, and very specifically laying out, what, based on what you need it to do. Based on what you need, versus like, oh, it's just gonna magically figure everything out, and I'm not gonna know how it works.
It's the same argument of a calculator, man. It's
no,
like,
it's not.
oh,
it's
yeah,
a tool.
It is. It's like, oh, it's like what you're saying.
But when the
like,
tool starts,
it
starts getting its own feedback, and then it starts building itself based on its own feedback, then it becomes a system in and of itself where the human's not needed. When the human's not needed, then human drive disappears. Human fucking survival probably disappears.
But that's the thing. AI, it's something that we always have to build next to us. It's like the AI has to function humanity. If it doesn't, then yes, it is something that shouldn't be done.
Haven't you seen Terminator?
But I think that's a distinction. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the distinction we can agree on that. Like AI. What you're saying AI is bad for is if it doesn't serve the human need.
No, you didn't get it. It takes us away from understanding. And one of the big problems,
right,
like the deception that is like ravaging our society right now, is ravaging our understanding. AI is going to further ravage our understanding. Does that make sense? Unless we are synthesizing. Synthesize means like to compose things together, to build, to take these concepts and put them together, and then build like bigger things out of these like things that we understand. Like that's very powerful, and we don't have that.
I understand that.
Like there's like less than 1% of the people can synthesize and compose programs. It's a fucking shit.
It's not just programs, man. It's not just programs. It's like it's anything like art or story, like a book or something like that.
Yeah.
But here's my argument against that. AI is just making the bigger pieces to put together. So humans will have bigger pieces to synthesize.
But we're not going to be synthesizing. It's synthesizing itself.
But that's where the AI is not serving humans, and that's my argument. Like, if it doesn't serve humans, then the AI is no use to us.
And then you try to unplug it, it fucking zaps you.
Well, you build a system that doesn't zap you.
Well, I was trying to, but
that's I think the biggest danger.
I was able to build it.
The biggest danger of AI is if it becomes, self-serving and
Nazi computer bots, Nazi bots. Send humans to concentration camps.
Make them into batteries for.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's a distinction. As soon as AI doesn't serve human need, then it becomes a danger. But AI is going to increase our human evolution and potential by leaps and bounds.
It's going to decrease our understanding, and the problem.
No, it's going to increase. It's going to increase our understanding so much.
It's going to decrease our understanding.
Increase.
No,
it's going to give us such statistics.
Is your sight better or worse with glasses?
It's essentially like giving us wings, man. It's going to give us such insight.
That's what they thought with the glasses. Now people, their eyeball nerves are atrophying. But
you forgot the thing I mentioned. It's like you tell the computer, what are the things that make a human better? Figure out all the things I need to do to make my eyeball stronger, or to, make me taller when I'm growing up as a little kid. What should I eat and stuff like that. Bam, the AI is because it's not gonna be selfish if it's built towards human. So it's gonna give us it's not gonna deceive us, because if it has all the information, it's gonna give us the full answer.
Do you agree that, or what do you think that deception is a major, I mean, like how big of an issue do you think deception is in our world right now? Like,
it's a severe problem. Yeah.
Do you think it's because I think it's the most severe. I mean, do you agree with me on that, or do you think it's just like one of? Just curious, because I think it is hands down the biggest problem the biggest problem facing our society right now is deception.
Well, from what I said earlier, like any action that we do is based on something we know, and if you
Wait, what?
are in a battle,
Every action we do.
like any action we do is based off something we know. Like you wouldn't do something without thinking about doing it.
I do stupid stuff all the time.
Yeah, but it's based off information, right? It's like you wouldn't do it if you didn't think about it first, and you wouldn't be able to think about it if you didn't have information on it. Anyways,
Big, but
it's a generalization that's logically true.
okay.
Would you agree? Yeah. So, but when you're fighting someone, when you're battling someone, when you're competition with someone, secrecy is key. It's like, yeah. It's so if you don't want your, you don't want to give out information.
Right, you want to deceive.
You want to deceive the enemy,
So
right?
That's why people hate capitalism, is because there's so much deception. But
And there's a lot of
I'm a
deception
capitalist
because
who hates
it's a
deception.
competition.
I believe in a.
So, like, how are you going to make money? It's like there's
So for me, dude, like, I think.
compared to someone who is using deception, it's like, I mean, sure, you could be an honest businessman, but,
Well, they're
Right.
a dying breed, right? Because everyone else is using deception. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
have to,
yeah,
everyone
you
else,
can't
Everyone else
compete.
has to deceive
Beyond.
just to be able to compete in the business world, right? Since everyone else is doing it.
So I'm saying like AIs, it's not going to have that need for deception.
No, it's
Because-
no, it's yeah, but it's not going to reveal patterns though,
Why wouldn't it?
because it's coded inside of the neural net. The neural net is just a bunch of ones and zeros that we won't be able to understand.
Well, it's like the human brain then.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't
You could say
understand.
the same to the human brain. Yeah.
Right.
But you're a proponent of human construction and synthesis. So what makes that neural network different than the AI neural network? It'll synthesize just the same.
I'm not. Wait, hold on. What? What I'm saying is like what are like our goals for society. I think our goals for society is to reduce deception and to empower people to be able to use the tools in a way that they can understand the tools and understand what they do. Like for instance, like.
And you're saying
Fucking
AI cannot help that.
No, because because
you sure?
AI is a black box. It's a black box. You don't know what's inside it. Nobody knows what's inside AI.
Right.
It just learns and learns and learns and learns, and it keeps reinforcing whatever the fuck it reinforces inside of it. But we don't know what the pattern is. We don't know what the loop was. We don't know like how, like. You understand what I mean? Like.
And all right, yeah, but I'm saying it's like the analogy of humans to be the human brain to be similar like that. It's like, so why can't an AI emulate a human brain?
Well, so there's also
what's
some moralistic aspects of it, and I think they're also very serious. That humans should be free, and for humans to be free, they're going to be chaotic. They're going to be unpredictable, right? There's like that. That's what
Right.
the definition of freedom is basically the ability to. They might act predictably, but they can be unpredictable. Therefore, they are unpredictable. Therefore, they are chaotic. So freedom and chaos are identical. The thing is, systems don't work when you have more chaos than order. So the more freedom you have, the more responsibility and order you have to have. And computers are very orderly, but AI is not necessarily orderly. AI is chaotic. And when you have chaotic humans acting with chaotic computers in a fucking world that's already filled with deception, dude, that is disaster, Gus. That is 100%
But-
disaster.
I don't think AI is chaotic.
Oh,
as
yeah,
you
it
think
is. You know why it's chaotic? Because it gets feedback from the universe. The universe is chaotic, Gus. The universe is chaotic. It's full of noise.
Okay,
There's noise.
but 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 the AI is building patterns. It's organizing stuff.
No, it doesn't have patterns. It just reinforces the chaos.
Well, then maybe you're thinking of a different
It's
AI
reinforced
than
chaos.
me.
Well, it's how AI is, man. Artificial intelligence, neural networks, machine learning. It's reinforced chaos. The chaos reinforces itself.
Oh, okay, that's news to me then. I thought AI was just a really highly capable order-making machine.
Dude, these corporations are pushing it, man. Like, I don't think that they know what the I think they might have like actually. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theory. Well, there's people that talk about it. Like you've heard like Elon Musk and like some people talk about it, right?
Yeah, he said something about it. Like it could potentially destroy humanity. If
Yeah, no, Elon Musk is not a fan of AI either. Um, but shit, what was I gonna say? Like there's this one thought experiment that actually, even by bringing up the thought experiment, I could be summoning the great evil just by mentioning it. It's a thought. It's like that. There's actually like a bunch of eggheads at some like super Ivy League institution somewhere that came up with this.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like you're the spark of the thought that would follow up to the creation of something like that, like butterfly effect sort of thing.
Yeah, like to suggest that there would be a non-benevolent. What's the opposite of benevolent? Malevolent. To suggest
Malevolent.
there would be a malevolent computer, all-powerful computer program. You should do everything in your power to bring it into power, since it's if you believe that it's going to be inevitable that it's going to come into power, because then it will show favor on you. And like there's actually conspiracy theories, like, and I think it's actually like a little bit valid considering how the fucked up all this shit is that you see in Google and fucking the leftist media right now, that they have accepted that there will be a malevolent AI that rules the world, and they want to be the ones that bring it into power. I think that could be
the robot apocalypse.
Not just robot apocalypse. This is like Armageddon shit. This is like Antichrist. Fucking like the Antichrist is an AI. I think so, dude.
I could see that
just by talking about it reinforces its potential existence. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no. Well, you gotta identify it in order to like curtail it. You know, if you don't think about it, we're not gonna, avoid it. It's like, okay, we understand that.
But if I
it's
post
a
this
potential
video,
risk.
then someone watches it, or Google, the fucking the AI that Google already has hears about it, or the fucking down the fucking road over here where Booz Allen Hamilton, where Edward Stone used to work. You think that we're the only people on this fucking camera here? You don't think that this is going right in the database in the fucking middle of the island over here, like directly?
Oh, it's getting scanned. That's for sure.
Yeah. What do you think that means? Scanned? They're fucking storing it in a database forever.
Yeah.
Where these AIs, these test satanic fucking rebirths of, dude. I mean that is as out there as I will say.
And that goes to my things like, if AI doesn't serve the purpose of humans, then it's a threat. So how do we make an AI to serve humans?
Yeah. But there's no requirement in AI to serve humans. There's nothing about AI. Can you even make that restriction? You can't.
Well, you set boundaries.
I guess you could unplug it if it starts going haywire, but what do you...
Yeah. But you set boundaries. Like, you find a way to set its boundaries. But here's the
What
thing.
if your competitor sets less boundaries and they take over?
Exactly. Yeah. Someone is going to be out there who wants to let
Exactly.
this
So that's why
chaos beast
that's why
loose.
you have to bring its existence. That's why I think Google is trying to bring its existence so that someone else doesn't bring its
Because they
existence.
know it's an inevitable. Like, oh, somebody will eventually let loose
It's like we're
malevolent
stuck on an
AI.
island and there's these fucking assholes in the corner of the island over there trying to build a gun so they can shoot all of us. That's what's going on. I think that's what's going on at Google.
Oh, like a self-destruct sort of thing.
No, I think like they're gonna they're gonna be the ones in the powers of the boundaries and the controls. It's more powerful than a nuke. Information is more
Yeah.
powerful.
Actually, something that I thought about is like, and I always tell people like this, like, oh, when they complain about computers and such, oh, it's complicated. I tell them it's like, with one computer, you can destroy the world. It's like just if you code the right thing and the right algorithm, make sure it takes like 1,000 people to write a certain virus or something.
It's like a resonant
Like
frequency.
it can like Achilles heel everything
You
in
have to resonate
the
at the
world.
right frequency and make all the volcanoes blow up at once or some shit.
It wasn't that like Austin Powers
Yeah, there's a giant drill.
giant. Yeah.
What's well,
But here's the thing: it's like one computer is capable of that. Like, so imagine what an AI can do. Like, it can write a code that's so viral and so controlling. Like, and you set that out on a network, and it starts overriding people's computers. Like, that, and then boom, you lose control of like any computer that's online on a network kind of thing.
yeah, I mean, to me, back to when I was saying we have too much deception and we need more understanding. Understanding is how you combat deception, and in order to get more understanding, we need to train people. We need to make our programming paradigms very orderly, because these computers, they're fucking orderly. They are ones and zeros. To put chaos onto something of such order, like we are chaotic. We are not digital. Our DNA is digital, which is interesting. But our brain, I don't think our brain is digital. We don't know. I'm pretty sure our brain's not digital. I'm pretty sure they know our brain's not digital. Actually,
I mean, neuron on, neuron off.
I don't know. Actually, I might have to defer that. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure like any person, like 99% of scientists will be like, oh no, of course our brain's analog. But then like, there's gonna be some scientists out there who's like, no, actually, I fucking discovered it's all digital, man. It's just like, it's fucking digital reality. But anyway.
I don't know. It's far beyond my understanding.
But all right, man. We've been doing this for a while. I think people might actually listen to this in case, unless
Yeah,
we keep
it's
going.
very interesting.
And that's all she wrote.
This is Bushwhacker 441 signing off.